from the people who...
Okay, here we go. This is the trailer. They say this is what he does. He makes these parody trailers, which can often be a little bit funny, or other times be cringe as fuck. Hopefully, it's funny.
We're scared of the only game that released in a more buggy state than Heist League. We now get way too much shit. Remember when Chris Wilson made a relatable post on the subreddit to tell us this expansion will have a narrower focus and possibly less content? Turns out we got bamboozled yet again, because in Echoes of the Atlas, we will get 11 new maps with graphics and boss fights that look like they were made this century.
True.
New skills and supports that are creative in their design. Buffing of over 40 existing gems, so we can get baited into trying bad builds once again. Several new ways of acquiring alchemy shards. Atlas region passive trees, because if Path of Exile does one thing well, it is passive trees. Actual crafting returns to the game, but with less cable management. Purple ignites. Changes to all 19 Ascendancy classes, including ones you forgot even existed. Once GGG forgot even existed.
What? Okay, I play those two Ascendancies are like my favorite Ascendancies. Like what? Those are like some of my favorite shit. So that's fucking bullshit. Okay, that's bullshit. I love Inquisitor and I love fucking Slayer, dude. I'm Slayer main.
Mick3 I Rob 5x2 resubbed.
Mick, you Rob with the 2 months. Appreciate that, brother.
That use a weapon type, which everyone forgot existed. And Enki's Archwitch. If you are someone relying on pre-made build guides to make characters, well, good fucking luck. And if you are a creator of such build guides, well, I mean the Deadeye has as many Ascendancy nodes as it fires bouncing arrows. Oh, and did you ever want to fight 10 juiced up map bosses on a golden frisbee? Well, me neither, but apparently Chris Wilson and this crazy bitch called the Maven think that is a fantastic idea. And to get those juicy Atlas passive points.
How many rips do you think we're going to see versus that? And depending on how, like, I suppose, depends on how much agency you have. You can pick every single boss, right? But there's going to be some areas where you pick the 10 least threatening bosses, and it doesn't matter how fucking much you try. There's going to be 10 bosses. One or two of those bosses could just fucking insta-gib you, right? Like, I feel like there's going to be... It depends, though. It depends on the mods. If the mods in the 10-map boss fight are really fucked, then it's going to be, I think, super rippy. But if the mods are, like, not that fucked, then it's probably... Maybe it's going to be fine. 10 per region, less combos. Yeah, you have to pick 10 maps within a region, right? So, guaranteed, like, the last 2 bosses, you can already find like 8 easy bosses, but then you're gonna be picking between like, oh, do I want to get fucking killed by the Val Oversoul, or do I want to get killed by Malachi, right? Like, which one do you want to die? Now I don't know if they're in the same zone or not. I just kind of used 2 fucking rippy bosses as an example.
That is what you have to do. I am sure the visual clarity and hardcore viability for this encounter will be off the charts. And we of course get to fight the Elder's abusive ex-girlfriend herself too, for even more rewards, such as her own crafting orb that allows you to craft primal ancient influence items, but that thing will cost so much currency you will never use it yourself anyway. And of course, craftable watchstones.
Fake news, dude. I'm gonna get that.
So if you thought watchstone progression during Conquerors of the Atlas was an unintuitive and convoluted endgame system, I got some bad news for you. Grinding gear games always know exactly what their player base wants. More micromanagement during endgame, and even more watchstones to hunt. But don't worry, Chris said they are going to be rare, which means you won't see a single one drop ever. And if you found that to be a lot of information to take in, I haven't even talked about the new League mechanic yet. Less content and a more narrowly focused expansion? My ass. Ritual League is either Domination League's older brother or the Breach League Season 4 finale. You activate shrines to trigger a fight, where revived enemies within the ritual circle, as well as the shrine itself, will try to kill you. Shrines can be activated multiple times to trigger more fights and buffer the rewards, which you then choose based on looking up prices over at Path of Exile Trade. Shrines can be activated multiple times to trigger more fights and buffer the rewards, which you then choose.
Which then, Beta Cuck Trade Cucks will go look up prices.
Based on looking up prices over at
whereas the 5-fed sort of self-found hardcore gamers will make, decisions that are fucking based on, depending on what you need at the time, and it will give you extra agency over how you decide to build your character. Like, do I need HP right now? Do I need damage right now? Do I need survivability? Is that a big upgrade for this slot versus that slot? Is this going to last forever? Is this best? Question mark. Okay, so it's going to be, I agree. This mechanic is dog shit for trade. It's amazing for solo self-found. Because in Trade League, it's like, it's purely a decision based on how much currency is this item worth. You just pick the one that's worth the most currency. That's literally it. It's literally it. It's like, you just like, okay, which is it's like an item dropping, right? You just have to know the item's worth something. It's literally it. It's chat. That's why don't play Trade League.
So basically, Triple G just flipped the middle finger to gaining any new players. The game already is so based around RNG that it's just not fun anymore.
What?
Literally everything is based on RNG.
What?
Now instead of making the base game more accessible to new players and growing your player base, they are just adding in even more complex and confusing mechanics that will ultimately end up breaking the core gameplay, just like nearly every league.
I'm scared to skip this moron. I just skip this moron. You just please stop talking. What are you even on about? What are you even on about? This whole entire expansion is about removing, like, you can specialize your Atlas to, like, make it more likely that you do one type of mechanic over the other type. So, like, for example, say your business slot item comes from, like, earn a tool breachstone. You can spec your Atlas to get more breachstones, so then you can get the item that you want. Or say you want it, it's your business slot items from one of the fucking Del bosses. You can spec your thing for Del boss. It's just saying, now you've got a mechanic here which lets you see a bunch of items that you can reroll once per thing, and you can literally pick depending on what you want. It's like the opposite of RNG. It's kind of a cringe take you've got there. Like, you're completely so wrong. It's not even funny. But whatever, dude. All right.
You then choose based on looking up prices over at Path of Exile Trade. Among the rewards will be all sorts of random crap, including league-specific unique items and new base types. There also are Pokeballs you can use to capture enemies in rituals, and use them to juice up future rituals, like procrastinating difficult fights to a later time, just like in real life. And if you cannot currently afford the reward you want, you can also procrastinate picking it up, and the item will show up at a later time for a lower price. You can even procrastinate buying items several times, but eventually you really want to get the item
developer for sure.
I don't know if it's default. He could have just been trying to bait, but I don't think so.
Just like in real life. So be ready to have no fucking clue on what build to choose. Be completely lost on how to progress your Atlas, and get overwhelmed by more juiced up in-game systems than...
You're not gonna get overwhelmed! How does anyone think this is overwhelming, dude? This is like saying Soulbinds and World of Warcraft are overwhelming or something. Except you don't even need to pick, like, between different covenants and stuff. You just get a thing and you go, oh, I like Delve more than fucking Breach, right? I like fucking, I fucking hate doing Elvis, so I'm going to just spec into the one that's not Elva, and then it makes me feel better about my decision. That's literally it. I don't understand how anyone could be overwhelmed by adding in, like, 10 extra passive trees. It's because they're basic as fuck, right? They're basic as fuck. These little nodes don't do anything. And the choice is like...
He makes some decent jokes and points, but a lot of these people think these are legitimate issues and are just rehashing Reddit complaints over and over.
I don't... Anyone who thinks this is too complicated?
Feels kind overwhelming to me.
Like, dude, it's not overwhelming though, dude. What do you mean? Okay, you look at that and you think, oh my god, that looks complicated. When you realize that it's not like all connected and shit, and you've got a branch, and a branch, right? It's like, okay, this is not some crazy complicated skill tree. This is like, oh, I like fucking Legion encounters. Click this. You just click that, and then you're done, right? Oh, I like Elva shit. Click that. Oh, I hate doing Beyond. Don't click that one. For new players, it is.
Tailoring your game only to your most hardcore player base is not a good idea for longevity of a game. Sure, these players are the ones that are spending the most money on the store, but this won't last forever.
Dude, what are you even on about, bro? What are you even on about? You saying you want the game to be a fucking raid finder? You saying, do you understand? There's plenty of fucking shit in the game. Like, dude, the fact is the casual players aren't probably going to make it to fucking maps. This is designed so, like, yeah, whenever you get to maps, you'll probably be able to spec, like, you'll be able to get 1 point. So you get to pick one key node. You're like, okay, what do I want the most? This Alpha shit, this Legion shit, this Beyond shit?
Sorry, Quin.
Just pick one
I
thing.
can only understand passive twigs. These passive trees are too hard for me.
This is a
Glad
passive
Blizzard
twig.
Understand me smile.
This is a passive twig. I think people are looking at it and think it's like some complicated thing. Yes, I would agree if they all connected in lots of different ways and there was like a bunch of different variations that you could have, right? If there was like hundreds of thousands of combos you could have here based on like a bunch of connections, okay, it would be complicated. But the fact is it's not. You've got like option 1, option 2, option 3, etc. It's really basic. Yeah, it's like an ascendancy for map. Yeah, think of it as like ascendancy, except far less impactful on your character.
All you cucks complaining that they are catering to the hardcore player base, I have 3 words for you. World of Warcraft.
Meh, too much effort. Yeah, well, WoW is like one of those things where they definitely lean towards the other side of like they try to make they go for like they make it too easy. But the Blizzard thing, the Blizzard logic is this, right? They want to have it's simple, but have like lots of meaning and depth with those simple choices, right? I think the quote is easy to learn, hard to master. That's what Blizzard goes. Now, PoE goes the other route.
If chat thinks this is complicated, they can just ignore this and play with their friends. It takes nothing away from Raid Finder.
GGG goes. They go. So Blizzard goes easy to learn. I mean, the Blizzard tries to aim for easy to learn, hard to master, and what they end up with is like super easy to learn and moderately hard to master, right? Like I'm talking like specializations and like optimizing your stats and stuff. It's like okay, you have to know like what do you get for PvP, versatility haste. What do you get for PvE, mastery haste. It's one of those things. Whereas GGG goes for like overly complex to learn, and it's very difficult to learn, but it's also very difficult to master. But once you've accumulated enough knowledge and you have an idea of like, once you know what Beyond is, once you know what Legion is, once you know all the stuff, it becomes a very obvious and easy choice. And it's actually, you look at this and you're like, oh, this is really basic, and this is super easy to understand, right? This is not bloat, chat. That's not bloat. That is not bloat. That is allowing you to customize your in-game experience. I hate Delve, right? I fucking hate Delve. So I'm just not going to speak into Delve shit, so therefore I'm going to see Delve less often in comparison to other in-game mechanics, right? I like being able to have more agency of what I do in my in-game, this is a great choice. This is a great choice.
By more juiced up endgame systems than we ever had before in Path of Exile Echoes of the Atlas. Coming to map devices near you on January 15th. I am Yoji's horrible trailer announcer voice, and I will see you soon. Oh, and you should really subscribe for more Path of Exile content and consider supporting these silly memes, but only if you're able
your
to.
grandchildren
Like these awesome
graduate,
people do.
you have to stop. Tears welled up in his eyes. He realized what was at stake. He gave it up immediately. 3 years later he died of lung cancer. It destroyed me. My mother said to me, don't put your family through what your grandfather put us through. At 27 I actually regret never having smoked, because seeing you design PoE builds gave me cancer anyway.
I'm not even making PoE builds, dude.
Because he is God game.